Hello friends, welcome to Linux topic. Our topic is network boot. In this tutorial, we configure a pxeboot server on CentOS 7 using dnsmasq with dhcp or existing dhcp on the network. Also, we configure a pxeboot menu for clonezilla and CentOS 7 by sharing the CentOS image via NFS, HTTP and FTP server. So let's start, but I request you to please subscribe my channel for latest video update. First we check release version etc Red Hat release 7.4. Check IP address. We configure ETH0 and IP is 172.17.20.100. ETH1 and 2 no configured. First we install a required package like tftp server, pxelinux and dnsmasq, syslinux and dnsmasq. Package is installing. Confirm by press yes and enter. Now GPG key accept, press yes. Now package has been installed. First we configure a dnsmasq. So firstly we move our original configuration file as a backup. Now we configure a dnsmasq, but just create a dnsmasq.conf file. Here is an entry with the dhcp server, port 0 and interface used ETH0, dhcp range release, ETH0 and IP address is 172.17.20.200 172.17.20.250 means allow address is 200 to 250, between 250. Gateway is 172.17.20.100 is same machine. DNS option is same machine because we configure a dnsmasq. It's a broadcast address and NTP server. pxe dhcp boot pxelinux 0, enable tftp and tftp root path. This is a configuration with dhcp server because there is no present a dhcp server in our network, so we will choose this option. Now we have a second option, existing dhcp server in our network. Because dhcp is already present in network, so just copy following lines, update some lines and delete some lines. Just we require the dnsmasq option, port 0 and interface 0 line. We don't require gateway, DNS, broadcast and NTP, so just delete it. Same line as it is. We just update this dhcp range, just add our gateway 172.20.1, sorry 0.1 is my gateway, proxy, just add a comma proxy line and update two lines, DNS option, vendor pxe client 62b and dhcp no override. Here dhcp is not available in my network, so just I comment following this line. Save, exit. Now I will copy some required file for pxeboot, and the path is user share sys linux. Sorry, it's my mistake. It's control c cp user share sys linux. Linux pxe, and destination path is live tftp boot. It's a root directory of tftp. Same, we will copy some required C32 file, memdisk, mboot, chain, and now required file has been copied in tftp boot. It's verified by ls-l. Just we create a pxe.cfg directory and just create a default file in this directory. This is related to boot menu. We just copy paste following line. This is the first boot from hard disk and label 1. Just save it and exit. Now we configure clonezilla in pxeboot. Just we download a clonezilla, open our official website clonezilla.org, and stable release. We choose a 64-bit zip file and repository is auto. Now press download. Yeah, it's take a few minutes for download. We save it in temp directory. After downloading, we will copy in our pxeboot server. Yeah, it's completed. Now we will copy. I already copy in pxeboot server in temp directory. Just I create a directory in tftp boot for separation of our image, and move this clonezilla zip in tftp boot clonezilla directory. Now go to directory and unzip it. Sorry, unzip command is not found, so I will install a unzip package. You install unzip, press yes for downloading, and it's completed. Now I will extract this clonezilla zip. I check by ls. Yeah, it's extracted. Now we can delete this zip file. We will add a boot entry for clonezilla in default file pxe.cfg in default file. Following entry is clonezilla pxe is label 2. Menu label is clonezilla live. It's a kernel clonezilla live VM Linux and IRD image. It's a tftp path and it is the address of our tftp boot. Now save. Verify the initrd and VM Linux file. Now we will add a CentOS7 minimal image in our pxe boot server. First we download ISO. It's a you can download from here, it's the officially website, but I have already a ISO file in and I copy it in temp. I will use this ISO. First I will mount this ISO as a loop in mnt directory. Check. Now I will copy. First I will create a data folder for separation of others created data, and just I will create a CentOS7 64-bit directory because it's a 64-bit. If I will use 32, so I will create a CentOS7 32-bit. Just I will copy all content from mnt to CentOS7 64-bit directory. Verify. Now we will add a bootman. So first we given a permission recursively and add a boot entry in default file. Before we add entry, we create a NFS server. We configure NFS server for sharing this CentOS image. We can use NFS, HTTP and FTP for sharing this. So first option we will choose NFS. Yeah, NFS server is installing. Yeah, it's completed. We export the directory etc export, and the directory is var lib tftp boot and data. We will share for all networks as a read write permission star read write and then save exit wq. Restart the NFS server, nfs-server. Check export directory, show mount -e server IP. Yeah, it's available for every network. And second option, we will configure a HTTP server. Yum install HTTP. HTTP installed completed. Now we will configure First we verify the HTTP version. It's a 2.4.6 via etc. We create a conf file like pxeboot.conf and append following line. It's alias pxeboot and data path is where lib tftp boot data. Now save exit and restart httpd. First we don't use a firewall, so we will disable it, stop it, and disable and permissively as a Linux permissive systemctl disable firewall D, permanently disable SELinux, SELinux, just update enforcing to permissive, save and exit. Now we will check HTTP server. Just type IP 172.17.20.100 pxeboot. Yeah, it's accessible. Now our NFS and HTTP configuration has been completed, and we will add a boot entry in default file. The entry is level 3 is via NFS. It's a base path of initrd file and it's a NFS path. Here we export, and the fourth level is via httpd, it's a base path, and method is http. Save exit, restart dnsmasq and check status. Yeah, it's a dhcp range. Now we will boot a client. Select first boot device network, save and exit. Initializing, try to get IP from dhcp, success. Then boot menu comes. Now we will select clonezilla live and press enter. It's loading an image. We use a tftp server. Yeah, clonezilla is try to fetch an image from tftp after the 100% successful. After the 100% successfully boot. It takes just 2 minutes to boot a clonezilla. Yeah, we successfully boot from clonezilla. Now we will boot from CentOS. Just reboot the system. Initializing. get IP from dhcp. Boot menu. Now we will select CentOS 7 from NFS. Just select and press enter. Yeah, cursor is blink. CentOS is booting. Starting installer, one moment. Now we successfully booted from CentOS 7 via FTP server. We can continue to install, but we will try HTTP option. So just reboot the system, getting IP and boot menu. Now we will select HTTP and press enter. Image loading. Unpacking init.trimfs. It's a HTTP option. Downloading an image. Yes, it's successfully booting from HTTP installer. Starting installer, one moment. Now a few seconds we will get a cursor on the screen. Yeah, our CentOS 7 via FTP has been successfully booted via net booting. Now we will try third option via FTP. So just configure a FTP server, yum install vsftp. Press yes and hit enter. Package installed. Now we will configure vsftpd, etc vsftpd vsftpd.conf. Anonymous enable, yes. Local enables, no. Write enable, no. And we define a directory var lib tftp data, because FTP default directory is a var ftp pub. We will change the default directory. Just add a 2 parameter in the bottom of vsftp.conf. known underscore root is equal to var lib tftp boot data. Now we will save exit and restart the vsftpd service. Now we will add a boot entry in pxelinux. First we will check our FTP server is working or not. So FTP server is working and image shared. Now we will configure a pxelinux.cfg default boot menu. We just add a line like label is equal to 5, menu label 5 via ftp, kernel and repo. We used a ftp URL. Now save exit. We will just restart a dnsmasq. Now we will boot from network again, getting IP. Now the fifth menu is tftp boot appear. Now we will press select and press enter. Yeah, it's booting. After the successfully boot, you can install the CentOS 7 easily. So
मतलब
please share my video
नहीं सिंपल
and
सा है ये तो,
subscribe
इसमें
my
कुछ इशू
channel
थोड़ी है।
for latest video and latest tutorial.
हाँ वहीं पे
Thanks.
बतानी पड़ेगी, और इसमें DHCP भी अलग से होगा ना एक। हाँ सुना ना, भेज दिया आपने, मैं भी भेजिए ना। यहीं आ जा भाई, यहीं आ जा, यहीं आ जा। आवाज